Hello class 12, I'm Sana Uzma from the Millennium School. Children, in the last video I discussed with you the factors affecting the rate of a reaction. And in those factors I told you that the temperature and the concentration is a very important factor that I'll be taking up in the rest of the chapter also. So in today's session I am continuing with the concentration part to explain the effect of concentration on the rate of a reaction. I'll be telling you about rate law. As you can see here, what the rate law is about. It tells us about the dependency of the rate of a reaction on the concentration of species involved in a chemical reaction. I repeat, what the rate law tells us about? It tells us about the dependency. How does the rate of a reaction depends on the concentration of a chemical species or the reactants involved in a chemical reaction. So this dependency is expressed in the form of a law which we call rate law. We only study this dependency for the simplest form of reaction. For complex reaction, this is not possible. So I have taken an example here where 2A is reacting with B to produce the product. This is an hypothetical reaction in which experimentally it is found that rate of reaction gets doubled if the concentration of A is getting doubled. Please listen to it very carefully, children. This is very important part for your board examination. Experimentally, it is found that if the concentration of A is getting doubled, the rate of reaction is also getting doubled. That means we can say that the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of A. This square bracket indicate the concentration of the reactant or product, whatever, or the active mass. This you must have done in class 11. Now, another experimental data says that if the concentration of B is doubled, what is happening? The rate of reaction is becoming 4 times. So if you have to express this relation, how will you express? The rate of reaction is directly proportional to the square of the concentration of B. So according to the experimental data, we got these two expressions. Now if you combine this equation 1 and equation 2, what will you obtain? You will obtain this equation where rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of A raised to the power 1 and B raised to the power 2. Now to remove this proportionality sign, I'll be using a constant here which is a known constant to you. It is known as reaction constant. So I have replaced this proportionality sign using this constant. So now this rate of the reaction can be expressed in this way for the reaction mentioned above. And this expression ROR now will be replaced with small r. The rate of reaction, it will be represented by small r. The rate of reaction for the above reaction can be expressed with this equation, and this is called rate law expression as mentioned here. This is known as rate law expression. This is what rate law says. Now this, how does it tell us about the dependency of the rate of the reaction on the concentration? See the power, the stoichiometric coefficients present here. What does it tell us? It tells us that rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of A, and rate of reaction becomes 4 times if the concentration of B is doubled. Now these two, this is just an hypothetical case I'm discussing here. The case can be anything. The rate can become half if you are doubling the concentration of B. The rate can be like it remains unaffected on changing the concentration of any of the reactant. That means this power can be fractional, can be in the form of decimal, it can be negative, anything can happen. But in this case I've taken the example where the rate of reaction is getting doubled and it is becoming 4 times. So I have derived this equation. But again reminding you, the power depends that how does the rate of reaction changes with the change in the concentration, and this can only be deduced with the help of experiments. This data can only be obtained with the help of experiment. So let us see what these terms say. K means rate constant, which is also known as velocity constant, or which is also known as specific reaction rate, where A and B in these square brackets is concentration of A and B respectively. So in general, you can represent the rate law in this form. X and Y means we have no information about the dependency of rate of reaction on the reactants. So in this case, in such cases you can write X and Y. So this X is the order of reaction with respect to A, because X is in the power of A, and Y is what? It is order with respect to B. And what will be the overall order of the reaction? The overall order of the reaction will be sum of these two orders, that is the order with respect to A and the order with respect to Y. When these two will be summed up, you will get the overall order of the reaction, and this overall order of the reaction is represented by small n. So basically you can call the dependency of the rate of reaction on the concentration of the reactant as the order of the reaction. I hope it is clear. I'm repeating again the concept that I have taught till now. The rate law is about, what is the rate law? It is about, this law is about the dependency of the rate of the reaction upon the concentration of the reactant. Okay, and this can be studied only for the simple reaction, not for complex reaction. And like this, I have taken a hypothetical equation here, and experimentally for this equation it is found that rate of reaction is getting doubled with increase in the concentration of A, and rate of reaction is becoming 4 times with increase in the concentration of B. So this can be expressed mathematically in this way, and when you combine this you reach to the rate law, and according to this rate law the order with respect to A is 1 and order with respect to B is 2. Now point to note here children, it is not necessary at all that balancing moles will come here. This balancing mole indicate the number of moles participating in the reaction, the number of moles of each reactant participating in the reaction, whereas this data can only be obtained experimentally. In few reactions you can see that this balancing mole and this coefficient, this stoichiometric coefficient can be same, but in majority of the reaction you will find that it is different. I hope it is clear. Though according to law of mass action, which you must have done in class 11, what we did, we used to express this expression with these moles raised to the power of these concentration terms, but actually this is not true. When we are talking about the kinetics of a reaction, we will be considering only experimental data. That means the order of the reaction can only be deduced with the help of experiment. You cannot write down these values theoretically by looking at the reaction. It is absolutely wrong. So please follow what I am telling you, and again reminding you to compile your notes, write down your notes along with me. You can pause the video and write down the notes, and then you can continue again. So general expression is also given. Now see here, one important point is mentioned. An order can be negative, it can be 0, it can be positive, and it can be fractional. So order of the reaction, order means what? These powers are called order of the reaction. These power can be negative, positive, 0, fractional, anything. Is it clear? So rate of the reaction can depend upon the concentration in any way. It can reduce with the increase in the concentration, it may remain unaffected, or it may increase with the increase in the concentration, as I told you in my last video lecture, that with the concentration change, the rate of reaction can change in any way. That is why the order can be any of the given values. It can be negative, 0, positive, or fractional. Now moving ahead, if concentration of all these species in the rate law expression is unity or 1, then what will happen? If you will keep in place of 1 the value as, in place of A the value as 1, in place of B the value as 1, then anything raised to the power 1 is 1. So obviously R will be equal to K. So how will you define the rate constant? So rate constant is defined as the rate of the reaction when the concentration of all the species in rate law expression is unity. That means when all the concentration terms is 1, then what happens? The rate constant is equal to the rate of reaction. Now coming to the unit of K. This is very, very important. Please children, mark it very important. This forms a very important question in your board also, and it will help you in number of ways also. So here you can see that I have written the rate law expression with respect to K. When you are writing with respect to K, you can reach out to this equation from here. See, if I have to write down the equation with K as the subject of formula, these two terms will move down. So it can be written like this. Now when you have to derive the unit of K, obviously you will be mentioning the units of these terms. I have already discussed with you the unit of rate of reaction. Rate of reaction means change in concentration per unit time, which can be written in this form: moles per liter per unit time. And these two are also concentration terms with the order raised to their power. So it can be written in general like this: concentration raised to the power n. N means we are talking about order here. We are talking about order of the reaction here. So what will be the unit of K? As you can see here, I have written moles per liter per unit time upon the unit of concentration is also moles per liter. If you remember molarity, molarity is moles per liter, and the most common way of expressing a concentration is moles per liter only. So we take it moles per liter raised to the power n. Now since numerator and denominator have the same values, it can be written in this way: moles per liter raised to the power 1 minus n, when this will move up, and time inverse. So this is a common expression for the unit of K. Okay. Now it depends what is the order of the reaction. Accordingly, the value of n will be substituted here. Let us say I am talking about the zero order reaction. Then for zero order reaction, the value of n will be 0. When this is 0, the unit of K will be moles per liter per unit time. Okay. Now if n is equal to 1, that is we are talking about first order reaction, then the value of n will be 1 here, and on substituting the value, this whole will become 0, and anything raised to the power 0 is 1. So the unit will be time inverse. And if the order of the reaction is 2, then you will substitute the value here as 2, and on solving this you will get the expression for the unit of K as this. So you can see here, if you have the unit of K with you, you can very easily find out what is the order of reaction. This unit is going to help you out in many numericals. Okay, so whenever an equation is given to you which is related to the order of the reaction and the order of the reaction is not mentioned, what will you do? You will immediately look to the value of K and its unit. Depending upon the unit of K, you can find out that what is the order of the reaction mentioned here, and then accordingly you'll proceed with the solution. When you'll do the numericals, then you will be able to find out. Okay, one more thing children. For your board examination, you have to do only 2 orders of reaction in detail, that is 0 order and order 1. Okay, so you will be doing only these 2 orders for your board examination, and in general you can calculate the unit of K for any order given to you when you have the common or the general formula with you. Now I have taken a very simple example here. See, if K is this, the unit of K is mentioned here, you have to find out the order, right? Now here you can pause the video, children, for a moment and then try to find out the order on your own. Okay, and then again you can tally your answer with mine. So you can see here that the order, the value of K is given. We don't have to do anything with this value. What we have to consider is the unit mentioned here to reach out to the order of the reaction. So we know that the unit of K is moles per liter 1 minus n second inverse. Why I have mentioned second here? Because you can see that in the question we have time in seconds. So according to the unit of K mentioned here, the value over this expression should be minus 2, right? So to make this value minus 2, what should be the value of n here? I repeat, this is the general expression for K, and as you can see here, liter square mole raised to the power minus 2 you want, and second raised to the power minus 1 is remain unaffected in all the expression. So to get this value, you should have minus 2 in the power here. When you multiply this with mole, it will become minus 2, which is satisfying this value. And when you will multiply liter with this, it will become minus 2, and when you will shift this to the numerator part, it will become liter raised to the power 2. So this minus 2 will satisfy our requirement. But how will you reach to this minus 2? Obviously, if the value of n here will be 3, then 1 minus 3 will give you the value as minus 2. This is what our requirement is. So according to the given expression, given question, the order of the reaction should be 3. So this is how we reach to the value of order of the reaction when we have the value of K. I hope it is clear to you, children. So this is all in today's video. Please keep following the lectures, and in the next session we'll be discussing some more important points regarding the order of the reaction. Thank you for watching the video.